What's up, everybody? It's your boy Brandon Blakeney, aka Brandon Lee TV. Welcome back to the Live with Brandon Blakeney podcast. Y'all know I got another banger for you, so kick back, relax, and come take a ride with your boy, man. We had an action-packed week of women's hoops on and off the court, man. We got A'ja Wilson showing love to the next college phenom, the potential next college face of women's college basketball. Juju Watkins giving her big praise. We got to hear about what the Queen A'ja Wilson is saying about the next up. On top of that, we've got WNBA expansion heading up north of the border, And then we finally got to see Nika Muhl make her WNBA debut, man. They finally freed the kid, man. It was crazy, that visa situation, but she got active. But before we get into all of that and break it all down and get into it, make sure y'all hit that subscribe button for all the latest and the greatest. Join our memberships. We got that exclusive content coming daily, weekly, whenever you need it. Now, let's get into it.
You are now locked into the Live with Brandon Blakeney podcast. Here is your host, Brandon Blakeney.
Juju Watkins set the stage on fire this season in college women's basketball, man. As a freshman, second leading scorer in the nation, led her team to a number one seed, an NCAA tournament run, and they look even more poised to make a championship run this year with some big-time additions in the transfer portal, a great freshman class coming into USC as well, and then, of course, you got the crown jewel, the face of the franchise of the program, Juju Watkins, who I think personally, if she would have been able to be a one-and-done like we see in the men's side, man, they need to implement that rule just for her, because 3 more years of Juju Watkins is insane to consider. She's about to be abusing folks for the next 3 years in women's college basketball, bro. It's about to get real spooky in Trojan Town. But we know that she has captivated, man, an audience of her peers as well as people that are at a level that she wants to be at. One of those, A'ja Wilson, multiple-time MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, WNBA champion, NCAA champion. She's done it all, and she is accomplishing things and has accomplished things that Juju is trying to get to and is striving for. But Juju had some big respect for her, putting A'ja Wilson on her Mount Rushmore of hoopers, and that's how this whole thing all started. But then A'ja Wilson heard about it and had some words for Juju.
Oh man, I love that, and I love Juju. Such a sweet kid. Like, she is a baller, a hooper. I think she's a pro already. She just needs a little bit more years just to kind of get a better flow of the game. But her game is where it needs to be right now, and I love it. And she's definitely going to take the nation by storm. And I feel like that makes me feel a little old because I'm over here trying to think about my Mount Rushmore, and it's like no players that are even still playing. So that's super cool. But I mean, when you think of Juju, when you think of a true pure hooper, I mean, it's the difference between a ball player and a hooper. Like, a hooper is Juju through and through, and I'm gonna be probably one of her number one fans. I'm so excited to see her growth at USC, the other USC. But no, she's doing some things. She has a future that is so bright ahead of her, and like, she's on the right track. So there's nothing I can say or do to really kind of help her continue to get to that point, because she's there. She's living in the moment, and I love that for her.
Now, what I was saying before, man, if Juju was able to go pro this year, I think she would have been the number one draft pick. Honestly, man, no shade to Caitlin Clark, but I think she was the best player in college basketball, the most pro-ready game. You can tell, one, she just grew up playing against guys. Like, she hoops. Like, she just grew up playing against grown men, man. Honestly, like, the smoothness, the lateral quickness, the efficiency, the way that she has the mid-range game on lock. She's a big wing, can bring the ball up the court, can play make, can block shots. She's not a one-dimensional player. She's not a volume shooter. She can absolutely get buckets within the flow of the offense. She's super efficient, and I love the tenacity, man. She's a competitor. She's got that dog in her, and, hey, I'm telling y'all, she has that superstar potential on and off the court. We've seen her, mingling with Shohei Ohtani's of the world, and we've seen her, of course, giving buckets out on the reg, and they're going to have some big games next season, so we're excited to see that. I'm just taken aback. This 2023 freshman class was so special and made such an impact. We're seeing how the 2024 class in the rookie WNBA world, Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark, Rakia Jackson, Cam Brink, and we're talking about Nika Muhl in a little bit, but we're seeing how they're impacting and elevating the game, and it's just exciting to see, man. And we have some real superstar potential. Yeah, Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark, Cam Brink, a lot of these stars, you know what I'm saying, Leah Edwards are gone, and they're bringing their followings to the WNBA, but there's still a hell of a lot of talent in the college game, and it's definitely in good hands, led by Juju Watkins, and there's a lot of other superstars as well. Of course, we got Paige Beckers coming back. Y'all know some big games were announced as well, man. South Carolina matching up against Michigan and Las Vegas. Like, it's just going to be a very exciting time for women's college basketball next season. So y'all know we're going to keep y'all up to date on all the latest and the greatest, man. But speaking of those WNBA rookies, Caitlin Clark faced off against Nika Muhl last night in those Seattle Storm. Now, Clark and the Indiana Fever have been getting better. She's been getting better every game, but they're still searching for that first win. And we know Nika Muhl has missed the first 4 games, waiting to hear for her visa situation to be worked out. First round draft pick. Really could complement this group well with all these scorers, being a guard that can pass first, a knockdown shooter from 3, a lockdown defender, just an ultimate glue player, a role player that we could see used like the similar success that we're seeing Kate Martin have out there in Las Vegas, man. Just some players that want to really win and will do anything that it takes. Get the 50-50 balls, get dirty for it, take a charge, you know what I'm saying? Winning plays, and we see that from Nika Muhl. Now, Seattle took the dub 85-83 to move to 2-3 on the season. The Fever dropped to 0-5. Looking at the Fever, you know, Leah Boston, only 15 minutes. We know, you know, she was going through some stuff. 4 points, 1 assist, 3 rebounds for her. Nalissa Smith, man, has been incredible for this group. You know, the coach challenged her. She went overseas, played more professional basketball, came back a lot more physical and a lot more confident. 16 points, 11 rebounds. She's been having a great season. Kelsey Mitchell finding her stride, coming back from injury. 17 points, 1 assist, 3 rebounds, and she's definitely a player that they need to continue to produce and be a leader as a veteran with this group. Caitlin Clark, 20 points, 7 assists, 7 rebounds, man. A great backcourt, Mitchell and Clark. I think they complement each other really well, but Clark has been on a tear, man. The last 3 games, you know what I'm saying? She had 20, she had 17, she had 21 this game. She's not turning the ball over as much. 7 assists, 7 rebounds, finding teammates, operating in this offense, running the show. I really like what I'm seeing. She's genuinely getting better with every contest, every rep, and just shout out to her for dealing with all these expectations with nothing but class. For Seattle, Aguamake back in the starting lineup, 22 points, 3 assists, 9 rebounds. Holy Jewel Lloyd finally coming to life. Shout out to my fantasy team. She had her first 30 ball of the season, 32 points, 6 assists, 11 rebounds, and she's been dominating the glass for this group as well. She's led them in rebounds a couple of times. Quiet night for Scott Diggins-Smith. 2 points, 5 assists, 1 rebound, and 26 minutes of play, but they still pick up the dub, 85-83. And we know Seattle is facing a lot of pressure as well with this big 3 that they've assembled, doing some big things in the free agency side of things, bringing in 2 very talented players, and Aguamake and Scott Diggs. Like, there's gonna be expectations when them 2 are joining Jewel Lloyd. Nika Muhl played just 3 minutes, but she got some action. She had 2 rebounds, and she's wearing number 1 for the Seattle Storm. And it was good to just see her out there, man. It was in a short spurt. Of course, she's still got to get in the game shape, getting adjusted. She's 4 games behind her peers. But it was nice to just see her be able to get out there, man, and hoop and do her thing and play. Because this whole situation with the visa was crazy. And I know it was some people expecting her to get waived. Like, we didn't even know she was going to be able to stay in the States to be on this roster. Like, we've never seen an incident like this in basketball before, especially on the men's side. Like, this was nuts. This whole situation was crazy, man. I'm just glad she's back, y'all. I know UConn fans are happy about it. I know college basketball fans, WNBA fans, Nika Muhl fans, Seattle Storm fans, all very excited to see her get out on the court. So shout out to her. The WNBA, we mentioned, is also experiencing more expansion. Now, we know the Golden State Valkyries are coming. to Golden State. Do they take Paige Beckers number 1? I don't know. Y'all holler at me, man. Y'all holler at me. Do they get her at number 1? That would be a crucial piece to build around. So I think she's gonna have a way easier transition to the pro game than Caitlin Clark. I think she's just more pro ready, and her game is more catered to the WNBA style of play. So that'll be interesting, man. But then the next year, we have another team in Toronto just announced that will be getting a team. And, hey, we seen how they support the Raptors and how Vince Carter grew that culture. Kawhi went and won a championship. Bosh was out there killing for a while. And now they're getting a women's side. We know from the Raptors, though, Toronto loves their basketball. So the team is set to begin play in 2026. Larry Tannenbaum led Kilmer Sports Ventures is paying $115 million for the team. Tannenbaum is also the chairman and a minority owner of the Maple Leaf Sports and Entertainment, the Toronto sports giant that also happens to own the Maple Leafs and the Raptors, along with Toronto's MLS squad and Canadian Football League franchises as well. This is a quote just from the WNBA commissioner, Kathy Engelbert. Growing internationally, I've been trying to think through next steps on a global platform. It helps us reach new audiences and brings in new partners. The thing I love about going to another country is that the young girls and boys get to see professional basketball for women is important too. This group will be the 14th WNBA franchise, and they're trying to get to 18. Tannenbaum said, quote, our Toronto sports franchises are thriving, but we have been missing one critical piece, women's professional sports. The world has finally taken notice of something that's been there all along, the immense talent, passion, and competition in women's sports. So once again, I saw an opportunity and knew we were in the right place at the right time to bring Canada's first WNBA team to Toronto, and now we have making sports history. The team will play in the Coca-Cola Coliseum at Exhibition Place. The arena holds 8,700 people. It is the home of American Hockey League's Toronto Marlies, and occasionally they will move to Scotiabank Arena, which sits nearly 20,000 for those big games. They will also play some games in Vancouver and Montreal. The WNBA is going international, y'all. We're seeing the charter flights. We're seeing the sponsors. We're seeing more money being poured in. We're seeing the investments that are being prepared and operated and executed in women's college basketball, as well as now the WNBA getting to really build off that momentum, man. And now we have another team, a 14th team, heading to Toronto. More talent, less players getting cut. We need more spots, man. We're seeing all types of just super talented players get cut and not have an opportunity to play in America, and they're having to go overseas and play international elsewhere. So now this provides another opportunity for 12 more players to stick in the league and do their thing. And we know Toronto's going to embrace them. They had the prime minister out there. Like, they're going to embrace this team full-heartedly, and I think they are a great ownership group. Like we've said, you know, they have multiple professional franchises that are succeeding, and I think this will be another one. So great place, right time, right place, right environment, right fans. You dig? But that's a wrap for us, man. Y'all holler at your boy. Let me know how y'all feel about the latest and the greatest. Until next time, I'm Brandon Blakeney, a.k.a. Brandon Lee TV. This is the Live with Brandon Blakeney podcast, and we out.